Let's go, people, let's go. It's prognosis negative time.
Hi, this is Eric, and welcome back to this Prognosis Negative presents Cinema Quickie number 8, Barbie. On the last Cinema Quickie for Oppenheimer, I was actually in a parking garage, which was glorious. But I'm back in a regular old parking lot, and it is another scorcher. So forgive me for the AC. So Barbie started off okay. I have to say, I'm not afraid to admit that as a kid, whenever I was over at a friend's house that was a girl, like when I was a young kid, I was always fascinated by the Barbie toys, especially the Barbie house and the cars and the appliances and the furniture and all that kind of stuff. I've always had a fascination for miniatures, if you know me. And it was really cool to see everything fully realized in full-scale form. Like that movie from the 80s, The Incredible Shrinking Woman. So I like that aspect. I like seeing all the Barbie toys come to life in Barbie Land. And of course I've seen the trailers, so I was anticipating the whole fish out of water situation with Barbie and Ken ending up in the real world. And we got there. And I hung with the movie for maybe 2/3 of the way, but then I became lost as a viewer. I was trying to decipher the message. It starts off with Barbie and the Barbies being really terrible towards the Kens, and then the Kens get enlightened and antics ensue. In a way, I'm trying to keep this a little bit spoiler free, and other developments happen, and there's Mattel, like they're trying to be meta about the company that created Barbie. There's a lot of toxic masculinity, there's girl bossing, there's all the modern buzzwords somewhere in the movie. But what is the message at the end of the day once you've watched the entire movie? The best I could come up with is this is all a metaphor for terrible men and women in the world. Now that's not all the people in the world, it's just a certain segment of those who are terrible. And I don't know what more I need to learn about that segment, or what I will find enlightening, or how I will be engaged in a tale revolving around those archetypes. Where is Lord and Miller when you need them? So, you know the Lego movie that came out some years ago, and how it was like pretty amazing at what it did at taking this toy property and making it this fully entertaining and engaging movie with so many LOL moments? I think Barbie is the anti-Lego movie, even though it was trying to sort of follow in its footsteps. All those great emotions and bonds that were set up in the Spider-Verse animated movies, this is also the opposite of that. This is a terrible version of those other projects I mentioned. Those other projects that really sucked me in and entertained me and took me on an adventure that was enjoyable. For me personally, this Barbie movie is the opposite of all those things. And I wasn't really expecting that. Although I heard a little word in the last 24 hours before I actually watched this movie that this could be the case. And I guess that's the way it's worked out for me up to this point. Ryan Gosling is an amazing actor in this terrible role. Most of the other Kens are pretty terrible also. If you're a Doctor Who fan, this is an interesting glimpse at the new Doctor-to-be. Margot Robbie is magnetic, as she always is. You know, in this movie where I was very confused, Margot Robbie just being Margot Robbie was kind of like a ray of hope to pull me through to the end. She's just amazing, even if the movie surrounding her isn't all that. And with that, I don't know what else to say, because I took in the final third of the movie, the third act, and I just let it play in front of me. I was completely checked out at that point. I'll just go ahead and rate this. Out of beach offs, out of 5 possible beach offs, I'm giving this a 2 out of 5. I guess I'm just not the target audience. I don't want to put this qualifier out there, but I'm sure this movie is appealing, or will be appealing, to a great many people. I don't think those people enjoy movies the way I do, because I don't know, if I try to imagine I was a Barbie fan, I don't know if I would have been satisfied by this. But maybe I'm speaking out of turn, because I don't know what it's actually like to be a fan of the actual Barbie doll. Likewise, I've been looking at reviews of Oppenheimer since I've seen it, and people who had particular strong issue with that movie, I also don't think I'm on the same page with those people either. So, I guess to each their own. But since I started doing these Cinema Quickies, this has to be the lowest rating I've given thus far. And I'm just going to be perfectly honest, the least enjoyable experience I've had with any of these movies that I've covered this year. Sorry to be such a downer, that's never what I'm trying to do, but all I can do is be honest. But who knows what's next at the old picture show. So, closing out the show today, this is Eric, and until next time, the parking lot is yours.
Prognosis negative.
Bonus. I really don't think this movie should be nominated for Best Picture. I'm sorry, everyone. I myself am really disappointed, because I was looking forward to this. Bonus. And by the way, I never, ever laughed once during this movie.